Hello everyone, and welcome back to New Game Plus Differences in Dark Souls 2, and today we're going to be going to the Ancient Dragon. I know you're thinking, Bark, what in the heck are you wearing and why are you wearing it? I'm wearing a hodgepodge of gear because I tried to fight the Ancient Dragon and I counted 24 times tonight earlier, and I eventually got tired of dying. I tried every strategy known to me and, well, I found a strategy that really works for me, and that's called the tanking strategy, and this requires a lot of preparation, but this is the equipment you will need. If you don't have the Flame Quartz Plus 3, if you don't have the Flame Quartz Plus 3, you pretty much have to use the Dragon Tooth. And yes, I even respect to have enough attunement and intelligence and all that stuff to have all this stuff, all this gear on. So that tells you how annoyed I was, and yeah, that was really just to prove that, yeah, you can't get hurt by fire in this fight to myself more than anything, but if you have 900 fire resistance, that's the magic number. If you have 900, you probably in all likelihood will not die unless you forget to get out of the way of his giant feet. Or his tail. I also got hit by his tail once. That's the con to the one strategy, staying near his tail and his back feet. It's just if you don't get out of the way of it, it will crush you too. Everything this thing does is one hit KO. Except his fire breath right now to me. Interestingly enough, if you have 600 fire resistance, which is what I have not buffed with Flash Sweat, if you have 50 Vigor, I'm thinking of the wrong game, if you have 50 Vigor, you won't actually die. You'll get hurt really badly, but you won't die. So that's like a whole new life right there. But the one thing about this strategy is you gotta be aggressive. I mean, if you want your 4 Flash Sweats to stay with you for, you know, you gotta go balls to the wall offense. Whether you dual wield, whether you have an ultra great sword like me, whatever you do, you gotta go all out. Because 4 Flash Sweats is 4 minutes. 4 minutes of time to kill this thing's massive health pool is a bit of a stretch. But like I said, you don't have to rely on your Flash Sweat. As long as you have decent fire resistance, I'm sorry, not magical, decent fire resistance and a decent amount of health, you'll be fine. But this is for those who are just having a ton of trouble. Like I said, I died 24 times to this thing, and hoping that this will help somebody out there. This strategy is not new by any stretch of the imagination. I'm sure somebody else has done this brute force method long before I have. Matter of fact, I think that's on the Wikidot, this strategy, so I'm just showing it in action. Nothing more, nothing less. And the only problem with this strategy is it can sometimes help form bad habits by just going, well, I don't have to get out of the way of the fire rain. If you ever try that on a different character and you don't have Flash Sweat and all this gear, like the Chaos set and Smelter stuff, that's gonna really hinder you in that fight. So, you know, keep that in mind. You know, everything accounted for, this fight is actually a lot easier on New Game Plus if you use this strategy. Simply because in New Game Plus, you have access to I think you actually do have access to most gear in the game. So getting 900 fire resistance is really not bad. Plus you can do a lot of damage. The only problem is New Game Plus, his health is astronomical, as you see. I'm doing around 1500 damage per combination, and you can see how much health it's taking. I don't know the numbers, I didn't look at the numbers health on the Wikidot, but this thing's health is unreal. And the other important thing is just don't lose your focus. If you're doing this the, quote, legitimate way, because I'm sure somebody thinks this is cheesing it, but if you do things the normal way, then you just don't get complacent. The moment you get complacent and you don't have Flash Sweat and 900 fire resistance on you, is the moment you can die instantly. And another good thing for, like I've learned, or in my experiences, is try and stay in the middle of the arena. If you get caught near a wall or near a fall, like the edge over there, and he jumps and he's in the middle, you don't really have a whole lot of room to maneuver to get out of the way of it. If you try and get to his tail, by then it's too late and you die. If you try to go to the side, you're probably going to get caught in the AoE and you die. So try and stay in the middle if you don't have a bunch of fire resistance. In my experience, I might well be wrong. I should have died there, I'm pretty sure, but I got lucky. I'm not gonna say I didn't deserve to die there. And also, yes, I acknowledge this set is pretty much ugly as sin. I mean, the Chaos set itself is nice, but I don't like the Smelter helmet. Nobody likes the Smelter helmet. Well, maybe somebody does, but I would imagine it's a fair bit rarer to find somebody that likes that. But as you see, I'm out of flash sweat. And now it's just, oh god, what I'm starting to panic at this point in the fight. And that's a very bad thing. Because, well, in a fight this long, the thought process is, I gotta be careful, I don't want to die now. Problem with that thought process is, you don't do any damage to the boss, so the boss is alive a hell of a lot longer to kill you with. So you can see the conundrum here. Regardless of how much you want to, you can't wuss out. If you wuss out, your chances of dying are a lot higher. Not exponentially, but a heck of a lot higher. Like I said, it still hurts like a bitch, but you can live through that if you have this much fire resistance and a lot of health. And I think that was more so just a reassurance Estus. But if you do have this much fire resistance, a good thing is if you do get caught near the edge and you know you're going to get hit, don't get right near the edge. One hit won't kill you, but the knockback in getting knocked off the cliff will kill you. So keep that little trick in mind. Now, if you don't have the fire resistance and you're in that situation, just go right to the edge, man. If you get hit by it, you're going to die anyway, so you might as well get right up to the edge. Like right here. If you don't have the fire resistance, get right on the edge of the cliff. If not, you want to give yourself a little room to get knocked over. But that's just damage, what's the word? Damage limit? No. I don't know the phrase for crap. Limiting damage is what I was going for there. Limiting liability, that's the one. I never used that word. I forgot liability, but yeah. Like you see here, one of the other things about this boss is you better do a lot of damage, or you better have 2 weapons equipped, because the last thing you want to be doing is going in your inventory going, oh god, where's the other weapon? Where's the other weapon? Right in the middle of this fight. Because if you don't have a really stout weapon, in all likelihood, it might break in this fight. This thing has that much health, you really might break. Or, conversely, you might just want to use a repair powder in the middle of the fight. And yes, that was me panicking going, I'm not dying now. That happens pretty much every fight. And this was, I think I was actually yelling freedom as I ran there, because I don't think you guys understand just how ragey I was at this point. It takes a lot for me to actually put points in intelligence and faith, if that tells you anything. And I have 16 in both on this right here. But yes, thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully this helps somebody out there with Ancient Dragon, because the Lord knows I had a hell of a time with it myself. But it's actually a lot easier in New Game Plus than it is in regular New Game. But thank you guys very much for watching. If you didn't get my equipment, here you go, one last look at it, so you can breeze through this fight just as I did. And if you'd like to help support the channel and help it grow, you may wish to like or even subscribe for easier access to future videos. And hopefully I shall see you guys next time. Farewell everyone, until next time, and be careful if you're going to fight the Ancient Dragon.